This is Mike.
This is Zosha.
We are Echoes Never Lie.
And you are listening to the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus.
Hey, everyone. You are back with the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. My name is Lou Lombardi, a.k.a. Loudini, and we've got a really, awesome, I don't think I've interviewed a metal band in a while. My last metal interview, I think, was with Xander Demos. But today we are coming back to some metal with Echoes Never Lie. This is a highly energized and energetic metal outfit from the Pittsburgh area, and I'm really excited to have them on the line today. We've got Zosha and Mike, and we're going to get with them in a minute. First of all, first things first, you are listening to the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus, and that is LoudiniRockandRollCircus.com. Loudini, but not Houdini, okay? So make sure you guys out there in Radioland got it right. LoudiniRockandRollCircus.com. We've got 2 interviews being put out every week, and a music podcast with my lovely and talented co-host, Miss Katie Simone, every Saturday. So you guys want to check that out. I'd like to thank my sponsor, my long-time and long-suffering sponsor, Positively Pittsburgh Live magazine. That is pplmag.com. It's Pittsburgh's first internet radio, TV network, online community magazine, and business directory. You can listen to, watch, download, receive emails with the latest audio and video created by members of the community. You can read articles. You can get coupons to save all kind of money. You can find businesses. There's a lot of great things like podcasts like this one, Loudini Rock and Roll Circus, on Positively Pittsburgh Live magazine. It's a great place to get a lot of great information. If you have something to say, something to share with the world, you might want to consider starting your own magazine page there. It's very easy to sign up, and you can publish your own articles. You could put up your own podcast like we do, or you could share videos as well. So that is Positively Pittsburgh Live magazine, pplmag.com. All right, now, as I was telling you guys, without further ado, we have the band, or 2 members of the band, Echoes Never Lie, on the phone today. This is a really high-powered, high-energy, heavy rock band, metal band from the Pittsburgh area, and we're going to just go ahead and get into it. Welcome, Zosha. I'm saying your name wrong. Zosha and Mike. Is it Zosha? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, it's Zosha. I know. It's
Zosha.
Very deceiving.
Zosa, like Zosa. And Mike is easy.
Mike's easy, yeah.
Not
that easy.
She's easy. Easy, Mike. Okay. Hey, guys, welcome, and glad to have you here. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about, give us the landscape of the band, because you guys have a great bass player and a great lead guitarist in the band as well who are not here. If you guys could go ahead and tell us a little bit about the band, how the band got started. Zosa, why don't you start first, and then Mike, you can jump in and fill in any gaps.
Yeah, that would be great. So we formed 3 years ago. Well, this year's going to be our 4th year. Right, Mike? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
4 years.
4 years. 4 years we've been married.
A long time.
And I was in a band project before, and everything went south, and I was absolutely devastated. So where do people turn when they're devastated? They go to Craigslist. And when in doubt, go to Craigslist. And Mike responded, and he was a really tough read. I couldn't gauge him, and but I kept telling him, stick with me. I promise you, we will get something. It will click. And we had members come in and out, and Mike stayed with me from the get-go, and he's been with me. We've been married 4 years later in the band. Just in the band. He has a lovely girlfriend. So, and he can jump in and, fill in the gaps, but we met on Craigslist.
So you guys met on Craigslist. How did you end up bringing in the John? Is it John and Jason, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jason.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Mike.
Jason was also a Craigslist personnel. He came in, just shredded it up from day one. I mean, this guy has some real talent, and pretty much from day one we knew that he would probably pretty much be a permanent member. And actually 3.5, maybe 4 years up to the day we got John. He actually was in a previous band with Jason, so that's how he became on board. Yeah, I mean, we went through tons of members and stuff on Craigslist, but ended up with the lineup we have today, from Jason being with John and then me and Zoe on Craigslist, and just kind of bonded from then.
Hey, Mike, since we're with you, why don't you tell us a little bit? Let's get a little bit about your beginnings and how you got involved with music in the to begin with.
I was in high school when I started playing drums. Before that, I always wanted a drum set, but my parents never really wanted to put the investment in. They didn't think I would stick with it. So I kept at them for about a year, and I finally came home, and I had a practice pad and a pair of sticks. And they were like, well, we're going to get you this. This is a low investment. See if you stick with it. Well, I got kind of bored on the pad. I needed more sounds. I didn't have a drum set at the time. So, well, they had this awesome couch sitting there, and there was all kinds of sounds that came from that. They didn't really appreciate it, but I would always, brag them to go to the grocery store because I knew I had a good half hour, 45 minutes that I could pound away, none the wiser, and get some rudiments in. It really strengthened my hands up being on, cushions. There was no rebound or nothing. So that kind of helped me get into the metal genre for the high intensity and the stamina that I needed to do what I do on stage. I found that really helped me out. So I didn't know that at first, way back, but if I do it over again, I'd probably do the same thing. I still practice on the couch today, and I have 4 drum sets next to me.
Would you recommend that to drummers? Anybody out there who's an aspiring drummer to practice on the couch?
I don't even think it's a recommendation. I really feel like if you're a drummer, it's already in you to pound away on anything.
To start feeding on things.
yeah, it's in their blood. It's not really, hey, I would check this out. They're probably already doing it.
Were you into metal, or did that come later?
I grew up in the 80s. I mean, not grew up in the 80s, but I was born in 87. So as far back as I remember, AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue, those were real big in my household growing up. So, yeah, I just stayed with that pretty much through my whole life, really. I never really got into any other genres real heavily. So, yeah, pretty much just metal from day one.
Does anybody else in your family a musician?
No, they are all into art. They can all draw and paint, and I can't do any of that. So, yeah, I'm the first one.
Yeah. All right, cool. So, Zosa, tell us a little bit about your musical beginnings and how you got started.
Well, if you asked my mother, she would say I was dancing in her stomach every night at midnight. So I think that was kind of the curse.
Okay.
of becoming a musician. I was in musical theater since I was 3. I was with the Pittsburgh Civic Light Opera for about 14 years. So actually my background was light opera and musical theater. I realized growing up this wasn't really something that I was going to shake. And it, to me, having a, quote, normal job, and that's not a dig towards anybody, that's just not something that I could do. Mm-hmm. So I continued my education at Point Park University in musical theater, and the more that I got into the musical theater world, the more that I found myself pulling away from it because they're very cookie cutter, and I'm not by any stretch of the imagination. I think differently. I'm just different aesthetically, and I never fit in. And every time I would go to a casting call, I wasn't blonde enough, or I wasn't skinny enough, or my skin was too dark, or, it was always some sort of thing, or my voice didn't fit my body, which I thought was very strange. But,
okay.
So I found rock and roll, and that accepted me. And then the supporters that have followed me throughout the years, they've found solace in that because, I think in this project, and Mike can chime in, we create a world where people who don't fit in can fit in, because I never did. ever.
Okay. So I want to definitely want to get into your philosophy, because I think that is a big part of your sound and the writing and everything in just a second here. But I have a question. I have to sort of stop you on something. You discovered rock and roll after. I mean, you never thought that you wanted to sing pop or rock music any time before the 14-year or the time in the CLO. You weren't like going out singing in bands or anything like that. You didn't. You just left one behind and went to the other. Give me a little bit more on that, how that went down.
Sure, absolutely. I tried really hard to want to sing pop music, and when I was through high school, but there was a darkness. There was a darkness in me that kept pulling me towards rock and roll. Oh God, do I sound like Ozzy or what? There's a darkness inside of me.
This is the beginning. This is how all great metal singers start out. So I think you're on the right track. Go ahead.
But me just being bullied and, guys never giving me the time of day, even though how much I bleached my hair or tried to fit in or, squeeze into those jeans. I was just screw this. I'm joining a rock band. And that pivotal moment hit when I was about 16 years old, when I took a sabbatical from school for being so bullied. So I just was I'm done. I'm joining a rock band. All this cookie cutter stuff is crap for the birds. I'm going to the dark side, and I guess I never went back.
Nice. Well, guys. Okay, so this is obviously has become this sort of, because you have you're a survivor. Is that a good way to kind of? Okay. So you're a survivor, and how does that? Because I want to get into how the songs come together. How does that inform the writing? And who does the writing, and how do you write? And whoever, I guess we'll start with those. Mike, well, you can chime in if you want to add something to that.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I think the writing is everybody. And from my life experiences, I mean, without taking up all night, Lou, I've had a lot of life experience at a young age, and I think when you're faced with a life-threatening illness, you have a choice. You either succumb to it, you let it take over you, or you say, screw you, I'm going to beat you, and I'm going to live, and I'm going to help other people. And I always tell people, don't thank me, don't, it's not about that. I survived. Feel bad for the people who didn't survive. Mm-hmm. That's the main, I think, goal. I'm here to live to tell the tale. The people who we had to unfortunately say goodbye to, those are the people that it's heart-wrenching. And I think as far as the writing process, I mean, it's literally my diary. You want to hear about my diary, you just listen to one of our songs. And it's all right there for you.
So the songwriting is very personal for you. You're kind of telling your story.
Absolutely, and I think I've always told people, and I don't go into great detail, but, whatever you can imagine, I've probably lived it, and I wanted to create, comfort in other people who are going through it, who are ashamed to talk about it, or don't have people to talk about it. They can pop on our track and go, yeah, you know what, they get it. I identify with that. And then, Mike, you can chime in.
With the lyrics and stuff, she's got the lyrics and the stories and, experience and stuff with that kind of thing. And then what we do is we read it and we try to feel what she's felt, and we just we put that through with the instrument. So, if it's real dark, we pick a tuning, we pick a feel with the notes, melody, and we just kind of really accent what's going on, lyric-wise, and bring it out that way. I know a lot of people, they'll write songs first and throw lyrics second. I mean, there's no actual recipe for this kind of stuff, but that's pretty much how we do it. We have a story first, and then we start creating the world around it.
Right. It's like you're scoring a film. Or
yeah,
in
exactly.
this case, you're scoring Zosa's diary.
Yeah.
You like that?
This is my diary set to music. Speaking of your diary set to music, we want to play a track from Echoes Never Lie. We're going to come back, and you guys, we can talk about this. And we'll talk about the EP you have coming out and your GoFundMe and everything here in a minute. But let's go ahead and give the kids at home a taste This is a track called Fade Away. Fade Away, is that the name of it?
Yeah.
Yes. It's a track called Fade Away, Echoes Never Lie, on the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. Okay, Fade Away. What is it, Zosa? What is the song about?
Oh, the long list of ex-boyfriends. Which I will not name because they do not deserve notoriety.
Oh, my.
Fade Away is actually a guy I saw actually while I was sick. And I hope he's listening. No, but...
Oh, my.
I know. I'm telling you, it's personal stuff. He was always away, and he wasn't really there for me during my battle. And, you know, eventually, like, we grew apart, and we just became different people. And it's about literally that, like somebody that you were so encompassed with, they literally fade away. And, yeah, I mean... Sorry, I didn't mean to, you know, paint him in a bad light, but, you know, hopefully at that time he was not the best person for me going through that dark period in my life. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. Go ahead, hey, Mike, tell us a little bit about the feel on this and kind of what you guys were going for when you saw the lyrics and kind of, could you tell us about how the song kind of came together?
When we read it, we felt more of like, kind of like a revenge kind of thing, you know. We didn't feel like it was quite buried. So, you know, and again, we wanted to capture the emotion. So we were just thinking fast, you know, real hard, high energy. And I believe this song is actually what is the first song we created that actually captured who we are today. Before that, it was more of a rock-based kind of band. We wanted to be heavier, but, you know, we just didn't have it yet. And I thought this song, with her story, really molded us to what we are today, and everything from then to now is real high energy and just real in your face. And the reason why is because of the stories that, you know, we're presented with. So
now you guys are working on an EP, right? And
yeah.
Is Matt Muckle producing this with you guys, or you guys? Okay. So tell us a little bit about the recording process. Where are you in it? How far along are you? When do you think the EP might be released?
Go ahead, Mike.
Well, we got.
No. Should we talk about something else?
There's a.
Or do you want me to take it?
There's a lot of things going on with it. It's, you know, obviously it's a process, but I believe that we only have a couple more tracks to do as far as some of the ambient stuff that we'd like to throw in the music to make it fuller. But as far as the main tracks, those are done. A release, I really can't say. Maybe near future, maybe a month or two. You know, get time for mixing and stuff. But that's pretty much what's left with that. Sean Hackle, is that correct, Zosha?
Yeah.
Sean Hackle. Yes, Sean Hackle. We're up at his studio, and that's where we lay the tracks down with Matt Muckle and everything. It's real relaxed. You know, those guys are great. They've got their own music history and everything, and I'm sure you can find that and do research on them. But yeah, they're great guys. They know what they're doing, and they've taken really good care of us so far. So, you know, look, it's been great working with them.
What is so the record is going to, you know, you guys are finishing up the record and it's going to be out pretty soon, hopefully in a month or two. In the meantime, you guys play out, right?
Oh yes.
Oh
yeah. Yeah. So tell us. Maybe Zosa, we could talk on. So what is the Echoes Never Lie live experience?
Oh God, it's like a psychotic circus.
Okay.
And you know, when I spoke to you prior, Lou, about it being a diary, and Mike and Jason and John, I'm sure, have their own experience on stage. Like, I take people through that. I dance. I wear costumes. I get in people's faces. I crawl all over the stage and in the audience. I mean, it literally, the best way I could describe it, it's like therapy for me. It instead of me paying thousands of dollars, I get to go out and just unleash it and go home feeling so relaxed. And
yeah.
I hate to sound like an artist when I say you have to experience it, but I think Mike will agree. Like, you just
yeah. Video doesn't capture it at all. We're pretty renowned for blowing PA systems at anywhere we pretty much play. I think just the energy that we bring. I mean, we blowed some pretty high-end stuff before and had to stop our show until they got some backup, because just our first note of the intro when we come out, I guess it's too much. I don't know, but it happens a lot, so we're just kind of used to it. But we'll take it.
So the show has so you're bringing in elements. So beyond the fact that it's very powerful and probably pretty loud, so do you feel like you're maybe bringing in some of what you learned in music theater with your performance?
Oh, absolutely. I am far from a quote rock star. And what I mean by that is I go to voice lessons. I live a very clean life. I go to the gym 5 days a week. I'm in bed by 10 o'clock. I'm very not cool. And I still pursue my vocal training for two reasons. One, I don't think you ever stop learning as a vocalist, and two, to keep me healthy, because what I vocally do is very demanding.
Yes, it is. Because I was going to ask you about that, because like I watched I've actually watched all your videos that are on YouTube, but there's one, I believe it was filmed at Cal U. You know which one I'm talking about? It's like a big, like, the whole video is like a wide shot from the whole band. And, you know, the first thing you do, is this amazing, like, soul-sucking scream. That's the first thing you do in the first song. So how do you do that and maintain, like not screw your voice up? I mean, without getting too technical.
Well, I'm very happy to say I'm heavily involved in the UPMC Voice Center. I was actually their poster child about 4 months ago, because Dr. Libby Smith, who's my voice doctor, is always amazed how I haven't screwed myself up. To answer your question directly, it's lifestyle. I don't smoke anything, period. I don't drink. I mean, Mike and Jason and John probably think I'm like the biggest square, because she's
our grandma. She's the grandma of the band.
Yeah, totally. I eat very clean. I get regular sleep and a lot of vocal exercises. But not only do you warm up, you cool down. And when you're not doing this, you shut up and you don't talk, because I think a lot of people mistaken me as being snobby or rude, and I'm not. I'm actually just conserving, because it's so vocally demanding. But I've never lost my voice. I've never had vocal surgery. Knock on wood. I have been so blessed and so lucky to maintain it. Plus, I have a team of people that depend on me to perform. But you got to eat, live, and be clean. I mean, I'm not trying to like give the kids out there an anti-drug campaign, but for me doing this for almost like 14 years. You know, it's a lifestyle choice.
Okay. I want to get down to so you take good care of yourself. You live kind of a straight edge kind of life, and so that's what keeps it going. Because I mean, I read once, now it's a different style of music, that like Celine Dion when she was on tour would not even talk.
Yeah.
Like all she did was sing. Like so when she was off that stage, if she wanted something, she literally wrote it down because she was trying.
Right.
And they say talking is actually one of the hardest things on your voice.
It is, and it's weird because when I was in my car accident, I was hit by a drunk driver in 2010. The only vocal issue I had is called vocal ecclesia, and it's a blood vessel in the vocal cord. And I'm thinking to myself, of all years of screaming, this is what gives me a vocal issue. But I was really fortunate with UPMC. I did a lot of voice work. And when you talk, people don't realize it, but you have to breathe from your diaphragm to lay off the stress of the cords.
Yeah, you have to support. You need to support even when you're just speaking.
Talking.
Yeah, something that people. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just like Mike practices to strengthen his arms and his drums, and you know, I'm the same way. I have to constantly practice my diaphragm. I'm doing sit-ups. I'm jogging. I mean, it's if you want to be a singer, it's truly a lifestyle.
It's the whole body. It's the whole body.
Yeah,
absolutely, it is. Let's talk a little bit about, because we're running a little short on time here. Let's talk a little bit about what is coming up. And I know that you guys want to. I would like you guys to talk about. Go ahead and promote your GoFundMe. But go ahead and tell us, what does the next 6 to 12 months look like for Echoes Never Lie?
Mike, do you want to take that?
Yeah, no, you can chime in. We have, with the GoFundMe and even some stuff previously, we have campaigns coming up for a lot of other radios, interviews, anything that gets the music out there, shows, magazines. We have all this lined up. So you should be seeing us a lot more, but you know, so just keep an eye out for everything. And of course, we'll let everybody know too on our social media as well.
Tell people how they can fund you. Where do they go? What's the website?
It is www.gofundme.com/ENL press release. And just to let the listeners know, the reason why we're doing this is actually under the guidance of our producer and manager, Matt Muckle. The industry has changed so much, and it hasn't changed for the positive. In order to get on the radio now, you have to buy on, which really stinks for artists.
The starving artists, yeah.
Yes, literally. And all of us, you know, we are not wealthy. We are working class people, and we really need our supporters to fund this, because if they don't, we don't get on the radio, and we don't get to travel to see them. And there's nothing that we would love more to come and meet everybody who's helped us. And just for the record, Pittsburgh, Baltimore is kicking your butt. And
yeah, I second that. Yeah, those guys rock out there, man. They are 100% music. You know, no cell phones are out in the audience when you're in Baltimore. Everyone's eyes are on stage. You know, everyone's involved. Pittsburgh, you got some 7-Up to do for sure.
So when you guys play, are you guys touring then? Are you going to other cities, or are you primarily playing around the Pittsburgh area?
No, Matt's going to compile a tri-state tour. We're going to also see which cities donate the most. So Baltimore, we're going to have a show for you, because everybody's hitting me up, and we're going to come see you guys. But yes, we're going to be hitting Ohio, West Virginia, PA, Baltimore, New York. All this money is not going into our pockets, and we're not going to have a huge party. This is all going back into the supporters and into our music to come see you guys. So
well,
really
there's. I remember hearing an interview many years ago with Steve Miller, and his philosophy when he was getting started was like, look, if it's not happening for you in Chicago, try Nashville. If it doesn't happen for you in Nashville, try L.A. Because if it's not happening for you in L.A., try New York. Because you don't know where. And so I think that's a good strategy. Look at where you're getting the most support from, and go play those places. because then that gives you a place that gives you like a foundation to build on. You know, you got 100 fans or whatever in Baltimore. I don't know, maybe it's 1,000 or whatever. And so you know when you go, those people are going to be there and they're going to support you. They're going to bring their friends. That's really smart. You guys are doing it. You guys are doing it right.
Thank you.
Sure. Is there any closing thoughts here before we wrap up? Anything you guys would like to add?
Snap.
Oh man, just keep listening, guys. You know, we just ask for you guys to like us. You know, keep listening to us. Come out when you can. We know everyone's got lives and stuff, but you know, if you like the music, you know, we'll be here. So we ain't going nowhere, that's for sure.
Any closing thoughts, Sosa?
Yeah, I just wanted to say thanks for everybody who took the time out to listen to us. And if you have like $1, $5, you know, please donate to us so we can help you. You know, we're very hands-on. You can message us anytime. I have my phone glued to my head. The guys will attest to that. So, you know, just thank you so much for taking the time out to listen to us. We really appreciate the support in any way.
Very good. What's the best website for people to check with to see what's going on?
Facebook, I would say, right, Mike?
Yeah, just because you know, somebody messages, we're right on it. You know, anybody can talk to us about anything. We're pretty cool people. That way you can stay up with the events, and like I said, you can talk to us, and so it's pretty much all in one right there. That'd be the best thing right now. It's just Facebook.
So that's facebook.com/echoes-never-lie, correct? Is that it?
Yes.
Yeah. That's where you guys want to go out. Guys, thanks a lot. Stick around. We're gonna do a bonus question here, but I'm gonna wrap up the podcast.
All right. Thanks.
All right, guys. Thanks for being here. You've been listening to Echoes Never Lie. Zosa and Mike the drummer, and Zosa lead vocals. Echoes Never Lie. You can go to facebook.com/echoes-never-lie, or if you just type it in the search in Facebook, you'll find it. They are easy to get a hold of. They usually respond very, very quickly to messages and stuff like that. Also, in case you missed that, these guys are, you know, they're real rock and rollers out there, and you know how this business is, folks. You know, this isn't the first time you listen to my podcast, and if you want this music to keep going, you've got to frickin' support it. So go to GoFundMe.com/E as in Edward, N as in Nancy, L as in Larry, ENL release. That is like Echoes Never Lie, release. Okay? GoFundMe.com/ENL release. Go to there and and help these guys out. All right? This isn't like, you guys know what this business is about. I don't need to tell you about that. You've been listening to me long enough. So guys, thanks for checking it out. Echoes Never Lie. Check them out. Thanks one more time to our sponsor, Positively, Pittsburgh Live Magazine, pplmag.com. They've been with me a long time. They're great supporters of the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus, so we'd like to support them. And please go to LoudiniRockandRollCircus.com. You check back every few days. There's something new, so you don't want to miss it. LoudiniRockandRollCircus.com. Guys, thanks so much for listening, and we will catch you on the next podcast.